You see, Prestone also, Marumbui also, and Conrad Sangma also were very ugly people. Very, very ugly people. But today, Chairman said, "Sir, you're looking very handsome." I must take this opportunity to really express my sincere gratitude to all of you. Very rarely does it happen, for politicians especially, that we are honored and we are thanked for whatever we do. But as Christians, we always believe that kindness and gratitude is something that should be part of what we are as human beings. And I'm so happy that today the SSA Association as well as the Fort Teachers Association, in thousands, I was surprised to see the number of teachers out here. Really surprised. So on behalf of my entire cabinet, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for organizing this wonderful program. And I would like our cabinet colleagues to please give a round of applause for our teachers who have organized this wonderful program. Thank you so much. But while I say that, what we are experiencing today and how we have reached here today, as has been seen in the video clip that we just saw, has been a very long and difficult journey. You have been through a lot. You have sacrificed a lot. You have gone through a lot of pain, and you have gone through a lot of struggle. I'm only happy that I could be part of this journey with you from 2016, when I was a member of Parliament, till the point today when we are actually able to come to some kind of a solution to ensure that the service that is given by our teachers is recognized. The dignity that you deserve is given. The financial stability that your family and individually at your level that you deserve is being given. And while there are many issues that could still be there in the future, but I'm happy to see that we have all worked together to make this day a possibility. And therefore, I would like to thank God Almighty, for we are all instruments in His hand. We have all our responsibilities given to us by Him. Whether it is your president, whether it is any of the teachers, whether it is the education minister, deputy chief minister, all the officials, there is a purpose for each one of us. And it is God's plan that has made all of this possible. I also would like to thank the education department. This would not have been possible without the hard work put in by the ministers concerned and the officials concerned. The problem that was in front of us was very complex, and hence past governments had difficulty in finding a solution. But it is the will, it is the decision, the desire to find a solution, and the commitment and consistency to continue in spite of all odds has made today a possibility. I also thank your association, your presidents, your secretaries, the members. What they have been able to achieve requires a lot of patience. As was mentioned by Aristotle, that they were a bridge between the teachers, the education department and the government. And being the bridge always takes all the pressure, because both sides expect the most from them. And to be able to hold on and keep both sides together and to be able to bring them together to a solution requires a lot of courage, a lot of patience, and a lot of hard work and sacrifice. I thank the associations, and most importantly, I thank all the teachers. It is your commitment that has made all of this possible today. I thank the authors of our education policy way back in 2019. Those who had created the actual vision, the roadmap of how education should move forward. I thank those members. I thank the members of the Education Commission, who again brought the policy, the desire to take education forward, the needs of the teachers, the policy complexity, and the political situation, all of that together, and came out with solutions that are workable so that we can actually improve the education system as a whole. I thank all the other stakeholders who have made this day a possibility. Thank you for all the support and help that you have given. For me, personally, this is maybe one of the most satisfying days in the last many years of working for the people and serving the people. Because it is days like these that we work towards and we strive towards. All the pressure we take every single day from early morning to late night is to be able to do something good for our people. I have always believed that the greatest satisfaction for me is to be able to bring a smile to my people's face. And today there are 23,000 smiles, and the family members put together maybe about 1 lakh smiles are there today. And of course, the students, if they put them together, there will be many lakh smiles that we are being able to achieve. And that is a true satisfaction for any leader, and especially for me, to see that we are being able to serve and make the difference and take those tough decisions. Decisions which are normally not so easy to take. I wish I could show you the pictures of the moment when we actually took that decision. I have it in my mobile, but I could not put it up on the screen. So I actually have the moment because my cameramen were there. And they clicked the picture of the moment where we said, yes, we're going to do this. But you should have seen the face and the tension on the finance department's face. And therefore all of us are tense, but the finance department's officials concerned had an even more tense face. And you would be able to see the complexity and the difficulty with which we took the decision. But as correctly mentioned by all the speakers who spoke before me, this expense or this financial impact that we are going to have cannot be judged in terms of the rupees we spent. It can only be judged in terms of the lives that we transform. It can only be judged in terms of how we will take Meghalaya state forward. It can only be judged through how we will be able to create more responsible, qualified, and better citizens for our state and for our country. And hence, if you look at money and try to value or put a cost in it from a monetary point of view, I think we are missing the picture. I think we are missing the point, we are missing the purpose and the goal. In the end, I would like to urge our teachers that at the end of the day, education is a very complex sector. We have tried to break it up. We have tried to improve it. We have succeeded in some things, and in some areas we're still working on them. But I believe that the only time when education can actually start changing is when we put the child in front of us and ask ourselves the question, what is good for this child? Not discuss or talk about the problems that we are facing, which are important, but look at the child and say, whatever I do today, or whatever I will do from now on, will be by putting my student in front of me. I will decide based on what is good for the student or what is not good for the student. And I believe that if all the teachers, the parents, the officials, the politicians, if we were to start putting the child first in all the decisions we make, only then will education start transforming. I believe we have made the right steps forward. I believe that we have made the right start, but there is a long, long journey ahead of us. We aspire to see Meghalaya as one of the top 10 states in the country. That dream can never be fulfilled if education is not kept as our priority. If education sector does not move forward, that dream of ours, we may reach it, but it will be a very short-lived dream. We will not be able to sustain it. We will not be able to bring that transformation and change that we desire to see in our state and in our people. And hence, education is and will always be the top priority of our government. Once again, I wish you all the very best. Once again, I thank all of you for being supportive and working together. As mentioned, this was not an easy decision, and I'm sure there are still concerns that all of us have. We could not solve every problem, but we can work together to try and improve the overall situations. There are still some concerns you have mentioned regarding, your leave structure, maternity leave, loan component, and one more, and healthcare provisions. All of these aspects are being very, very positively examined. We have to, of course, take all the stakeholders into confidence. Once we are able to take them into confidence, we'll be able to move on all of this. From the looks of it, it looks very much possible that a majority of those issues that are mentioned in your letter that you've addressed to us, of some of the concerns still which are there, I'm sure that we can address most of these concerns, but do allow us to do our homework so that we take all the stakeholders into confidence before we give a formal commitment to all of you. But as I said, we are very, very positively examining this, and as always, we have been very, very clear that we are a government, as my dear friend Basambar Shulai always says, we don't talk much, but we act. And we are people who believe in fulfilling our commitments. There is a lot of noise in politics. There is a lot of noise in the state. Many people will say many, many negative things. But you must have noticed, I don't respond to them. The reason I don't respond to them is because not because that I have no answer. I don't respond because I don't believe that responding by words is the way that we would like to act or respond. I believe that we will respond with the deeds that we do. We will respond by the actions that we do. We will respond by ensuring that we actually resolve the problem rather than just talking about the problems. Therefore, our commitment is continued, and I assure you that we will work together to take the education sector forward. May God bless each and every one of you who's present out here, and may God bless our beautiful state of Meghalaya. Kublai Shibun, Matela, and Jai Hind.